Red lights flashed across the bridge of the USS Defiant. Warning sounds rang out from every station. Commander Lisa Grant held onto her captain's chair as the ship stopped shaking. "Damage report," she said, her voice calm despite the chaos. Her First Officer Sam Peters checked his screen. "Engines working at 80%, shields at full power, no major damage." "Where are we?" Lisa asked. The stars outside the window did not match any pattern they knew. Alan Nichols, the science officer, tapped at his screen with growing worry. "Unknown, Commander. None of these star patterns match our maps." The test of their new wormhole drive had gone very wrong. The Defiant was Earth's first true starship, built to test faster-than-light travel. Now they were lost in space. Far from home. "Life signs?" Lisa asked. "Nothing close by," Alan said. Then he froze. "Wait. I'm picking up signals. Many signals." He looked up with wide eyes. "Ships, hundreds of them, about 20 light minutes away." Lisa stood up. "First contact situation, everyone. Remember your training." She turned to Diane Williams at the communication station. "Any signals coming? Our way?" Diane adjusted her headset. "Nothing yet, but there's a lot of chatter between the ships. The computer is starting to translate. They call themselves the Zorak." "Friendly?" Lisa asked. Before Diane could answer, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. 3 ships just appeared. "On sensors," Security Chief Olivia Carter called out. "They're heading straight for us, fast." Lisa took a deep breath. "Yellow alert. Shields up, but weapons on standby only. Let's not start a war." The crew worked quickly as the alien ships approached. They were smooth and silver, shaped like arrowheads, each one 3 times the size of the Defiant. "They're hailing us," Diane said. "On screen," Lisa ordered. The screen showed a being with gray skin and 4 eyes. It had no hair and a mouthful of small, sharp teeth. It wore a uniform with many bright badges. "This is Commander Lisa Grant of the Earthship Defiant. We come in peace." The alien spoke in a rough voice. The computer translated. "I am Sub-Commander Krell of the Zorak Empire. Your ship has entered Imperial space without permission. You will power down and prepare to be boarded." Lisa kept her face calm. "We arrived here by accident. We mean no. Harmon will leave your space immediately." Krell made a sound like laughter. "No. Your ship and its technology now belong to the Empire. Resistance will result in your destruction." The screen went dark. "They're charging weapons," Olivia reported. Lisa's mind raced. "Defensive pattern Delta. Kevin, get the engines ready. For a quick jump if we need to run." Kevin Miller, the ship's engineer, spoke through the comm system. "The wormhole drive is damaged, Commander. We can use normal engines, but we can't jump home." "Understood. Olivia, ready our defenses. If they fire, use the pulse shields to deflect only. No offensive action unless I order it." The Zorak ship spread out, trying to surround the Defiant. "They're firing!" Olivia shouted. The bridge crew braced, but the hit felt like nothing more than a slight bump. Alan checked his readings with surprise. "Their weapons barely touched our shields. The new pulse technology is working better than expected." Lisa nodded. "Keep us defensive. Let's see what they do next." The Zorak ships fired, again this time with bigger weapons. The Defiant shook slightly, but the shields held strong. "They're hailing us again," Diane said. Krell appeared on screen, looking angry and confused. "What trickery is this? Your primitive ship should be destroyed." Lisa stood tall. "We told you we come in peace. We have no wish to fight, but we will. Defend ourselves. Impossible. No ship can withstand Zorak weapons. You will surrender your shield technology immediately." "I'm afraid we can't do that," Lisa said firmly. Krell bared his teeth. "Then you will be destroyed." The screen went dark again. "All 3 ships are moving to attack positions," Olivia warned. "They're charging something bigger." Lisa made a quick decision. "Olivia, target their weapon systems only. Use the pulse defensive measure." The Defiant released a wave of energy that washed over the alien ships. 2 of them suddenly went dark, their lights flickering off. The 3rd ship backed away quickly. What did we do? Lisa asked. Kevin's voice came through the comm. The pulse. Shield created a feedback loop in their power systems. They're disabled but not destroyed. Diane listened to her headset. Commander, I'm picking up a lot of signals now. The whole Zorak fleet is talking about us. They sound scared. Alan worked at his station. I'm picking up more signals from planets nearby. They're talking about us too. I think the Zorak have enemies. Sam looked at the disabled ships. Or victims. Lisa sat back in her chair. Diane, keep translating those signals. Find out everything you can about the Zorak and who they're talking to. Kevin, I need that wormhole drive fixed. Alan, figure out where we are and map this area. Olivia, keep us safe. The crew jumped into action. As Lisa watched the stars on the screen, she knew their mission had just changed. They weren't just explorers anymore. They were Earth's first representatives in what seemed to be a complicated and dangerous galaxy. Sam, she said quietly to her first officer. I think we just started something big. Sam nodded. The question is, what will we finish? The third Zorak ship backed away, then turned and sped off, likely to report what had happened. Lisa knew they would be back, and with more ships next time. The USS Defiant, alone in unknown space, had just shown that humans could not be pushed around. That single fact would echo across the stars, changing the balance of power in ways no one could predict. The humans had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. We need to hide, Commander Lisa Grant told her crew, at least until we understand what we're dealing with. 3 days had passed since their first battle with the Zorak ships. The Defiant now hid in a dense asteroid field. Engineer Kevin Miller had set up a system to mask their energy signature. The translator has processed enough of their language, Communications Officer Diane Williams reported. I can tell you more about the Zorak now. The senior crew gathered around the meeting room table. They run an empire spanning 42 star systems, Diane explained. They've conquered 7 different alien species that now serve them. These species form what's called the Galactic Coalition, but it's not a willing partnership. The Zorak rule through fear and superior technology. Science Officer Alan Nichols added, or what was superior technology until we showed up. Lisa nodded. Any chance of getting the wormhole drive working so we can go home? Kevin shook his head. Not with what we have here. And there's something else. The wormhole didn't just move us through space. Based on the star patterns, we've traveled about 80 years into the future. A heavy silence fell over the room. So we can't warn Earth, First Officer Sam Peters said quietly. No, Kevin confirmed. But the good news is that the Zorak don't know where Earth is. Our arrival confused their sensors. They think we came from somewhere in this sector. Lisa stood up and walked to the window. Stars and asteroids floated in the darkness. Somewhere out there, a hostile empire was looking for them. We can't go home, she said finally. Not yet. But we can make sure the Zorak never find Earth. That means we need to learn everything about them and find their weaknesses. Security. Chief Olivia Carter spoke up. I've been studying their patrol patterns. There's a small outpost about 6 hours from here. We could send a small team to gather intelligence. Lisa turned back to her crew. Make it happen. Sam, you have the bridge. Olivia, pick your team. I want you back in 24 hours. The shuttle moved silently toward the Zorak outpost. Olivia led the team of 4. Herself, Alan, and 2 security officers, Greg Duncan and Maria Lopez. Their security is focused outward, Olivia noted as they approached. They're not expecting anyone to sneak in. The shuttle landed behind a cluster of storage buildings. The team wore special suits that masked their heat signatures and used the outpost's own energy field to hide their movements. According to the scans, they're holding prisoners in that building, Alan whispered, pointing to a domed structure. They moved quietly, avoiding Zorak patrols. The aliens were tall and moved stiffly, making them easy to spot and avoid. When they reached the prison building, Maria used a device Kevin had built to override the lock. Inside, cells lined the walls. In them were creatures of different shapes and sizes. Some had fur, others scales. All looked weak and afraid. "We're not here to free prisoners," Olivia reminded her team. "Just to gather information." Alan scanned the area with his device. "There's a data terminal in the next room." As they moved toward it, a voice called out in broken English, "You are not Zorak." They turned to see a thin being with blue skin and large eyes. It pressed against the energy field of its cell. "How do you know our language?" Alan asked, surprised. I'm learning from your ship's broadcasts," the alien said. "I am Telnar, science officer of the Coalition ship Aurora. Please, free me. I can help you." Olivia hesitated, then made a quick decision. "Alan, get the data. Greg, Maria, free this one only. We leave in 5 minutes." Back on the Defiant, Telnar drank water eagerly. "Your ship is amazing," he said. "Nothing like the Zorak technology." Lisa watched him carefully. "Tell us about..." "The Coalition. We were free once," Telnar explained. 7 species living in peace. Then the Zorak came with their war machines. One by one our worlds fell. For 60 years they have ruled us." "And no one fights back?" Sam asked. Telnar's large eyes blinked sadly. "We try, but their technology is too advanced. Their ships are faster, their weapons stronger until you came." He leaned forward. "Your ship did what no one has done before. You damaged Zorak ships without destroying your own. The news is spreading across all Coalition worlds. People are talking about you. Hoping." Lisa frowned. "We didn't come here to start a rebellion." "But you can help us," Telnar insisted. "Your technology works differently from anything the Zorak have seen. They don't know how to fight you." The ship's AI system, a female voice named Jane, spoke through the room's speakers. "Commander, I've analyzed the data from the outpost. The Zorak are planning to attack a Coalition mining colony tomorrow. They suspect the miners are hiding rebels." Telnar stood up quickly. "That is my home colony. My family is there." Lisa looked at her officers. They hadn't planned to get involved in a war. Their mission was exploration. But they couldn't just watch innocent people die. "How many Zorak ships?" she asked Jane. 12, the AI answered. Sam whistled. "That's bad odds, even with our shields." "Perhaps not," Kevin said. "I've been studying how our pulse shield affected their ships. I think I can modify our defense system to disable their weapons from a greater distance." Lisa stood up. "Prepare the ship. We leave in an hour." The mining colony orbited a small rocky moon. 12 Zorak ships surrounded it, preparing to attack. Hidden behind the moon, the Defiant watched and waited. "Their ships are in attack formation," Olivia reported. "They're charging weapons." Lisa took a deep breath. "Kevin, is the modified pulse shield ready?" "Yes, Commander, but we'll need to get closer." "Diane, open a channel to the Zorak fleet," Lisa ordered. The lead Zorak ship appeared on screen. A commander with elaborate face markings glared at them. "The human ship. Surrender now or be destroyed." "This is Commander Lisa Grant. We ask you to leave this colony in peace." The Zorak commander laughed. "You dare to give orders to the Empire? We have 12 ships, you have 1. 1 is all we need," Lisa said calmly. "This is your only warning." She signaled Diane to cut the transmission. "Battle stations," Lisa ordered. "Sam, attack pattern Baker. Kevin, ready the pulse shield. Olivia, target their command ships only." The Defiant swung around the moon, moving faster than the Zorak expected. Before they could react, the human ship was among them, releasing waves of energy that shut down ship after ship. From the colony, thousands watched as a single ship took on the mighty Zorak fleet. They saw something they had never seen before: Zorak ships running away. When it was over, 5 Zorak ships drifted powerless in space. The others had retreated. On the colony, people cheered and cried. Stories would spread across the stars. Humans had come and the Zorak could be beaten. On the bridge of the Defiant, Lisa knew there was no going back now. "Send a message to the colony," she told Diane. "Tell them we're here to help." The crew of the Defiant had become reluctant heroes in a war they never meant to join. But perhaps this was why they had been sent here, so far from home. To bring hope to a galaxy that had forgotten what it meant to be free. News of the human victory spread quickly. The Defiant had defeated 12 Zorak ships, something no coalition force had ever done. On the Zorak throne world, Emperor Voss was not happy. "One ship," he hissed at his generals. "One ship has made us look weak." Grand Admiral Krev bowed low. "My Emperor, this human vessel possesses technology we have not seen before. Their defense systems work on principles our scientists do not understand." Emperor Voss stood from his throne. "Then capture it. Bring me this ship and its technology. Use whatever forces you need." Krev bowed again. "I will lead the mission myself, Emperor. I will not fail." On the mining colony, the crew of the Defiant worked with Telnar and other coalition scientists. They had set up a temporary base in an old storage facility. "Your shield technology is amazing," Telnar said, studying the diagrams Kevin Miller had drawn. "We have never thought to use energy this way." Kevin smiled. "It's interesting that our technology developed so differently. You're faster than light. Drives are more efficient than ours. But your defense systems rely on absorption rather than deflection." In another part of the facility, Lieutenant Paul Jackson trained a group of coalition fighters. They were from different species, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Some had natural armor, others were quick and agile. "The Zorak always attack in the same patterns," Paul explained. "They rely on their technology and don't adapt well to surprises. We can use that against them." The aliens watched in awe as Paul demonstrated human fighting techniques. They had never seen someone move so unpredictably. Meanwhile, Commander Lisa Grant met with coalition leaders. Many had traveled secretly to the colony after hearing about the Defiant. "We cannot win a war against the Zorak Empire," a leader named Drak said. His skin was green and rough like tree bark. "They have thousands of ships." "We don't need to win a war," Lisa replied. "We just need to show people that the Zorak can be defeated. Hope is a powerful weapon." Another leader, with features like a cat, leaned forward. "You speak of rebellion. Many have tried, many have died. This time will be different," Lisa said. "The Zorak have never faced humans before." Medical Officer Stephanie Howard entered the room. "Excuse me, Commander. I've made an interesting discovery." After the meeting, Stephanie showed Lisa her findings. "The Zorak physiology has a weakness," she explained. "Their nervous system is sensitive to certain sound frequencies, not enough to harm them but enough to disorient them." Lisa nodded. "Can we use this?" "I think so," Stephanie said. "We could create devices that emit these frequencies. It would give our people an advantage in close combat." Lisa smiled. This was the human advantage, finding new solutions, adapting, quickly using the unexpected. 3 weeks later, the Defiant led a small fleet of modified coalition ships. They had installed human shield technology on 3 vessels and trained their crews in human tactics. "Scout ships report a large Zorak fleet heading this way," Sam Peters told Lisa on the bridge. "At least 50 ships." Lisa nodded. "They're taking us seriously now. Is the trap ready?" "Yes, Commander. Kevin and Telnar have the pulse buoys in position." Lisa turned to her communications officer. "Diane, signal the coalition ships. Operation Trojan Horse is a go." The plan was bold, even reckless by coalition standards. The Defiant would appear to be damaged and fleeing, drawing the Zorak fleet into a field of hidden pulse buoys, small devices that could release the same energy as the Defiant's shields. As expected, the Zorak fleet appeared, led by a massive flagship. Grand Admiral Krev wanted the glory of capturing the human ship himself. "They're taking the bait," Olivia reported from her security station. "The flagship is leading the pursuit." Lisa watched the tactical display. "Steady." "Not yet. Wait until more ships enter the field." The Zorak ships moved confidently into the trap, their sensors not detecting the small buoys hidden among space debris. "Now," Lisa ordered. Kevin activated the buoys. Waves of energy washed over the Zorak ships. 30 of them lost power immediately. The others, including Krev's flagship, began to retreat. "They're running," Sam said with surprise. "The mighty Zorak are running away." But Grand Admiral Krev had not become the Emperor's top military leader by being predictable. His flagship suddenly turned and accelerated directly toward the Defiant. "Evasive maneuvers!" Lisa shouted. The Defiant moved quickly, but the massive Zorak flagship clipped its side. Both ships spun from the impact. "Damage report," Lisa called. "Out." "Shields at 60%, Olivia replied. "Minor hull damage on decks 5 and 6. Lisa made a quick decision. "Kevin, divert all non-essential power to the shields. Olivia, ready the pulse cannon." The Zorak flagship was turning for another attack. This time they fired all weapons. The Defiant shook under the assault. "Shields at 40%, Olivia reported. "They're adapting to our defenses." Lisa knew they couldn't take another hit like that. "Execute maneuver, Charlie. Get us behind." His ship. The Defiant dove under the Zorak flagship, then looped around behind it. Before Krev could react, the human ship fired its pulse cannon directly at the flagship's engines. The massive ship went dark, drifting in space. "We got them," Sam said, relief in his voice. "Coalition ships reporting success against the remaining Zorak vessels," Diane added. "They're using the tactics Paul taught them." Lisa allowed herself a small smile. "Open a channel to Grand Admiral Krev." The alien's face appeared on screen, lit by emergency lighting. His 4 eyes narrowed with anger. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "You are one ship from an unknown world. The Zorak have ruled this sector for generations." "Perhaps it's time for a change," Lisa replied. "Tell your Emperor that the Coalition worlds are under our protection now. Any aggression will be met with force," Krev hissed. "This is not over, human. You have won a battle, not the war." "That's where you're wrong, Admiral," Lisa said. "Your ships are disabled, not destroyed. We could have killed you all, but we chose not to. Remember that when you report back to your Emperor." She signaled Diane to end the transmission. "Coalition ships are requesting permission to board the disabled Zorak vessels," Olivia reported. "Grant it," Lisa ordered. "But remind them, no unnecessary violence. We're here to free the Coalition, not to become like the Zorak." As the Coalition fighters boarded the enemy ships, many carrying the sound devices Stephanie had designed, Lisa knew this victory would change everything. The Coalition species had seen what was possible. They had tasted freedom. On dozens of worlds across the sector, beings who had lived under Zorak rule their entire lives would soon hear the news. Humans had arrived, and the days of the Empire were numbered. 2 months after the Defiant's arrival, the galaxy was changing. The news of Zorak defeat spread from world to world, whispered in homes and work camps. Hope grew where once there had been only fear. Commander Lisa Grant stood in the command center of New Hope, a base hidden in an asteroid belt. What had started as a temporary shelter had grown into the headquarters of the rebellion. Ships came and went, bringing supplies and fighters from across Coalition space. "Another 3 Zorak patrols defeated this week," Sam Peters reported, marking a map of the sector. "Coalition forces are getting bolder. And better trained," added Paul Jackson. The lieutenant had trained hundreds of Coalition fighters in human tactics. "They're quick learners." Lisa nodded. "What about the Zorak response?" "Increasing patrols in all sectors," Olivia Carter said. "And we've heard rumors of a new weapon." Before Lisa could ask for details, a young Coalition officer rushed in. He belonged to the Navarre species, with blue skin and webbed hands. "Commander, we've received a distress call from Telnar. His transport is under attack by Zorak ships." Lisa didn't hesitate. "Prepare the Defiant. Sam, you have command of the base. Olivia, alert our closest Coalition ships to join us." Telnar had been visiting his home world, gathering more scientists to work on adapting human technology. Now his ship was surrounded by 3 Zorak cruisers. "They're not trying to destroy him," Kevin Miller observed as the Defiant approached. "They want to capture the ship." "Telnar has been working with our shield designs," Lisa realized. "They want our technology." The Defiant moved into attack position, but something was wrong. When they fired their pulse weapons, the Zorak ships didn't lose power as expected. "They've adapted," Kevin said, checking his readings. "They've found a way to shield their systems from our pulse technology." Lisa made a quick decision. Switch to conventional weapons. Target their engines only. The battle was harder than previous encounters. The Zorak had learned from their defeats, but they hadn't counted on Lisa's strategic thinking. She positioned the Defiant between two Zorak ships, causing them to damage each other with their own weapons. When the battle ended, Telnar's ship was safe, but the Defiant had taken damage. "They're learning," Lisa told her officers as they returned to New Hope. "We need to stay one step ahead." On the Zorak throne world, Emperor Voss received disturbing news. "The rebellion spreads, my Emperor," High Commander Zex reported. 10 systems have declared themselves free of Imperial rule. "Impossible," Voss hissed. "Send more ships, crush these rebels." "We have tried, Emperor, but our forces are stretched thin." And Zex hesitated. "Speak," Voss demanded. "The humans have shared their technology with the Coalition. We face ships with defenses similar to the Defiant, and their fighting tactics are unpredictable." Emperor Voss stood from his throne. "Then use the bioweapon. Target the humans first. Without them, the rebellion will collapse." Back at New Hope, Diane Williams monitored communication channels. "Commander, I'm picking up unusual Zorak communications. They're moving ships to these coordinates." She pointed to a map. Lisa studied the pattern. "That's nowhere near any Coalition world or base. What are they doing?" Science Officer Alan Nichols looked closer at the map. "Wait. Those coordinates." He checked his data. "That's where we first appeared in this sector. They're studying the area where our wormhole opened." Lisa's blood ran cold. "They're looking for Earth." "They won't find it from there," Kevin assured her. "The wormhole collapsed completely." "But they're trying," Lisa said grimly. "We need to stop them." Before they could make plans, a Coalition ship arrived carrying victims of a new Zorak attack. Medical officer Stephanie Howard rushed to help them. "They're sick," she reported later. "Hit with some kind of biological agent. It's attacking their lungs." "A bioweapon?" Lisa asked, concerned. "Yes, but the strange thing is it only affects humans. These Coalition members were on a ship with 2 of our crew. Only our people got sick." Lisa realized the Zorak had escalated the conflict. "They're targeting us specifically. How are our crew members?" "Stable for now," Stephanie said. "I'm working on a treatment. Human immune systems are actually quite strong compared to local species. We might be able to develop a resistance." The next weeks brought more challenges. The Zorak deployed their bioweapon in several battles, forcing the Defiant to avoid direct confrontation. But Lisa had a plan. "We need to expose their atrocities," she told her officers. "The Zorak maintain control through fear, but also through controlling information. Many beings in the Empire don't know the truth about how the Coalition species are treated." Diane Williams had been working on breaking into the Empire's communication network. "I think I can broadcast a message across all Imperial channels, but it would have to be short." "Show them this," Lisa said, presenting video evidence of Zorak prison camps that Olivia's security teams had gathered. "Let them see what their empire really stands for." The broadcast went out 3 days later. Across Zorak space, beings saw the truth about their empire. Some ignored it. Others questioned. A few acted. "Commander," Diane reported excitedly one morning, "I'm receiving messages from within Zorak territory. Some of their own people want to help us." Lisa smiled. The cracks in the Empire were spreading. The greatest test came when a Zorak scout discovered New Hope. Within hours, a massive fleet approached the asteroid belt, led by Grand Admiral Krev himself. 50 Zorak ships against our 17, Sam counted grimly. "Even with our technology, those are bad odds." "Then we don't fight them directly," Lisa decided. "Olivia, ready the asteroid charges. Kevin, prepare the shield buoys. Paul, get your best fighter pilots ready." The plan was dangerous. While the Coalition fleet hid behind a large asteroid, the Defiant would appear to be alone, drawing the Zorak fleet into a trap. Explosive charges had been planted on key asteroids and shield buoys were hidden throughout the belt. As the Zorak fleet approached, Lisa sent a message to Grand Admiral Krev. "This is your only warning, Admiral. Withdraw your forces or face the consequences. Krev's laugh filled the bridge. You have nowhere to run, human. Your rebellion ends today. The Zorak ships moved into the asteroid belt. The Defiant retreated, appearing to flee in panic. They're in position, Olivia reported. All ships targeted. Now, Lisa ordered. Explosives detonated across the asteroid field, sending massive rocks hurtling toward the Zorak ships. At the same time, shield buoys activated, creating energy, barriers that trapped several enemy vessels. Coalition fighters emerged from hiding, targeting the confused Zorak ships. The battle raged for hours. The Defiant took heavy damage but continued fighting. When a Zorak cruiser targeted a Coalition medical ship, Lisa ordered the Defiant to move between them, taking the hit instead. Shields failing, Olivia reported, her station sparking from damage. Lisa looked at her brave crew. Prepare for ramming. Speed. Target Krev's flagship. But before she could give the order, 3 massive ships appeared from behind a moon. They were Zorak dreadnoughts, but they opened fire on Krev's fleet, not on the Coalition ships. We're being hailed, Diane said in surprise. A female Zorak appeared on screen. I am Admiral Lara of the Free Zorak movement. We request permission to join your battle. Lisa couldn't hide her shock. You're fighting your own people? We are. Fighting for our people, Lara corrected. The Empire has lied to us for generations. It is time for change. The battle turned. With the help of the rebel Zorak ships, the Coalition fleet captured 3 Imperial dreadnoughts and destroyed many others. Grand Admiral Krev escaped with less than half his fleet. As the Defiant limped back to base for repairs, Lisa looked at the stars. The galaxy was indeed changing, faster than anyone had expected. What had started as a fight for survival had become a full revolution, with species from across the sector rising up against their oppressors. And at the center of it all was one human ship, far from home but exactly where it needed to be. 6 months after the USS Defiant had appeared in this distant part of the galaxy, the Zorak Empire was falling apart. System after system declared independence. Imperial ships defected to the rebellion. On the throne world, Emperor Voss faced a council in revolt. The war is lost, a council member declared. We must negotiate with the Coalition. Never, Voss roared. I will not surrender to lesser beings. They are not lesser, another council member argued. The humans have shown us that different does not mean inferior. As the council argued, Grand Admiral Krev entered the chamber. His uniform was torn, his face scarred from recent battles. My Emperor, he said, bowing. I bring news from the front. Our forces have been defeated at Nexus Point. The Coalition now controls the main trade routes. Voss sank into his throne. How? How has this happened so quickly? The humans, Krev said simply. One ship, one crew. They changed everything. On New Hope Station, Commander Lisa Grant met with the leaders of the Coalition. The base had grown into a small city, with ships coming and going constantly. Coalition species worked alongside humans, learning and teaching. The Zorak Empire controls only 12 systems now, Olivia Carter reported, showing the latest map. Their fleet is scattered and demoralized. What about the Free Zorak movement? Lisa asked. Growing stronger, Sam Peters replied. Admiral, Lara now commands 30 ships. Many Zorak civilians are joining her cause. Telner, who had become the Coalition's chief scientist, spoke up. We have received a message from the Imperial Council. They wish to discuss terms of surrender. The room fell silent. After generations of oppression, the idea of the mighty Zorak surrendering seemed impossible. Is it a trap? Paul Jackson asked. I don't think so, Diane Williams answered. Our intelligence suggests the Emperor has been overthrown. The Council now rules and they want peace. Lisa nodded. Then we'll meet with them. But we proceed with caution. As plans for peace talks began, Lisa faced another reality. She called her senior officers to a private meeting. Kevin, what's the status of the wormhole drive? She asked. Kevin Miller shook his head. The damage is worse than I thought. With the technology available here,